What if I told you? One West African nation became known as the Land of Gold, gave Africa one of its greatest independence movements, carries the memory of powerful kingdoms, painful history, vibrant culture, breathtaking landscapes, and a spirit of freedom that still inspires the continent? Welcome to Ghana, a land of gold and heritage, a land of kingdoms and coastlines, a land of music, memory, courage, culture, and hope. This is Ghana, the land of gold and freedom. Welcome to the daily life, where every nation has a story, every culture has a voice, and every journey reveals something extraordinary. Today, we continue our journey across Africa with Ghana, one of the continent's most historically important and culturally influential nations. Before we begin this incredible journey, if you enjoy discovering history, geography, culture, travel, wildlife, and the hidden stories that shape our world, please like this video, subscribe to The Daily Life, and turn on notifications. We are exploring every nation in Africa, one remarkable story at a time. Now let's begin. Every story has a setting, and Ghana's begins on the sun-drenched coast of West Africa, nestled securely on the Gulf of Guinea. To truly understand its history, we must first understand its geography. Ghana shares its borders with three neighboring countries. To the west lies Côte d'Ivoire, a fellow cocoa powerhouse. To the north, Burkina Faso connects Ghana to the ancient trade routes of the Sahel. And to the east is Togo, with whom it shares deep cultural ties. But it is the southern border that has most profoundly shaped Ghana's destiny, a 550-kilometer coastline along the Atlantic Ocean. This maritime frontier was not a barrier, but a gateway, a point of contact that would bring unimaginable wealth, devastating tragedy, and transformative change. This coastal connection continues to define Ghana's modern economic life. The country's largest cities and economic hubs are situated here. The twin ports of Tema and Takoradi are the lifelines of the nation's trade, handling the import and export of everything from cocoa and oil to cars and electronics. And the ocean provides a livelihood for countless fishing communities whose very existence is tied to the sea, its opportunities, its dangers, and its constant rhythmic presence on the southern horizon. Moving inland from the coast, Ghana's physical geography unfolds into a diverse tapestry of landscapes. We first encounter the coastal plains, a low-lying area whose flat terrain was ideal for settlement and the growth of the capital. Journeying further north, we enter the forest zone, the historical heartland of Ghana. This is the land of the Ashanti uplands, a fortress of rolling hills and dense tropical rainforest. This fertile, protected environment was the source of immense wealth, in gold, timber, and most famously, cocoa. It was here that great kingdoms could rise and flourish. Continuing north, the dense forest gives way to the northern savannah. This drier, more open landscape served as a corridor for ancient trade and migration, connecting the forest to the great empires of the Sahel. And at the country's center lies the Volta Basin, dominated by Lake Volta. Created in the 1960s by the Akosombo Dam, it is one of the world's largest artificial lakes by surface area. A monumental feat of engineering, the lake provides hydroelectric power, a transportation artery, and fishing resources. But its creation also displaced 80,000 people, a poignant symbol of the trade-offs in the quest for modernization. To live in Ghana is to be intimately aware of the sky. The nation's tropical climate is governed by the celestial dance between two great air masses, the moist monsoon from the Atlantic and the dry harmattan from the Sahara. In the south, two rainy seasons bring life to the land, creating the ideal humid conditions for crops like cocoa, palm oil, and plantain to thrive. The north, however, endures a long, intense dry season, defined by the harmattan. This dusty wind blows from the Sahara, reducing visibility and coating everything in a fine red powder. This rhythm of wet and dry dictates everything. When to plant, when to harvest, how to travel, and when to celebrate, shaping the very culture of daily life. The story of the land we now call Ghana did not begin with European ships or famous kingdoms. It reaches much further back into a deep past evidenced by whispers in the earth. Thousands of years ago, the shift from foraging to farming allowed for the establishment of permanent villages, laying the foundation for more complex societies. A pivotal moment was the mastery of ironworking. Iron hoes made farming more efficient, while iron weapons shifted the balance of power, enabling the rise of larger political groups. Voice filled with emotion. Long before European ships appeared on the coast, communities were farming, trading, building, worshipping, creating, and shaping the land we now call Ghana. Their history is not a prelude. It is the deep and fertile soil from which everything else grew. When the British colony of the Gold Coast achieved independence, its leaders made a powerful choice for the new nation's name, Ghana. This was not based on direct geography. The ancient Ghana Empire was a different entity. The choice was an act of historical reclamation and Pan-African inspiration. The ancient empire was one of the first great black African kingdoms known to the world, renowned for its power and control over the trans-Saharan gold trade. By adopting its name, the new nation was bypassing its colonial identity and connecting itself to a legacy of indigenous African power, prestige, and sovereignty. It was a declaration of pride. The link between the ancient empire and the modern nation was the enduring legacy of gold. For centuries, this region was a principal source of the precious metal. The Akan peoples, particularly the Ashanti, built their own powerful empire on this wealth, using it to foster trade, project power, and create dazzling works of art. This legacy is embedded in the very fabric of Ghanaian identity. Gold is more than a mineral. It represents wealth, royalty, purity, and the enduring soul of the nation. In the dense green heart of Ghana, a story of power and culture was unfolding long before the Ashanti Empire. This was the domain of the Akan-speaking peoples. Among the earliest was the Kingdom of Bono. Its capital, Bono Manso, became a crucial commercial hub, a middleman connecting the gold of the forest with the trans-Saharan trade to the north. This control over trade brought immense wealth and cultural diversity, making Bono the most powerful and influential state in the region for centuries. But political power in the forest was never static. By the 17th century, a new power emerged to challenge Bono's dominance: the Kingdom of Denkira. Denkira grew powerful through its military prowess and direct control over the richest gold deposits. Denkira's dominance was absolute and often brutal, forcing neighboring states to pay heavy tribute. This oppressive rule fostered widespread resentment and a burning desire for freedom. A storm was gathering in the forest. The story of the Ashanti Empire is a tale of unity, spiritual power, and revolutionary leadership. It begins in the late 17th century with two visionary figures, the warrior prince Osei Tutu and the high priest Okomfo Anokie. In a display of immense spiritual power, Okomfo Anokie is said to have conjured the golden stool from the heavens, declaring it contained the soul, spirit, and unity of the entire Ashanti people, the Asantemen. This was a stroke of political and spiritual genius. The chiefs swore an oath to the golden stool, subordinating their individual interests and recognizing Osei Tutu as the first Asantehene, the king of all the Ashanti. With this newfound unity, they defeated their oppressors around the year 1701. The Ashanti nation was born. The Ashanti Empire was not simply a kingdom of gold. It was a civilization of organization, symbolism, and spiritual identity. Centered on the magnificent capital of Kumasi, the empire grew to control a vast territory through military strength, sophisticated bureaucracy, and control over trade. This deep reverence for their identity culminated in the War of the Golden Stool in 1900. When the British demanded the sacred stool, it was the Queen Mother, Ya Asantewa, who rallied the nation to fight in one of colonial Africa's most famous acts of resistance, While the Ashanti Empire dominated the forest, Ghana's history is a tale of two halves. To the north, across the vast savannah, a different set of powerful and ancient kingdoms flourished. These kingdoms, including Dagbon, Ganja, and Mampurugu, were shaped by the open grasslands. Their power was built not on infantry, but on the strength of their cavalry. These states were vital nodes in the trans-Saharan trade, connecting the forest to the south with the great commercial and intellectual currents of North Africa. This connection brought new ideas, and the influence of Islam is much more pronounced here, visible in the region's historic mosques and cultural practices. These kingdoms developed their own complex systems of governance and preserved their history through specialized oral historians and drummers, whose drums could literally speak the genealogies of their kings. The northern kingdoms represent a deep and distinct stream of Ghanaian history, reminding us that the nation's past is not a single narrative, but a rich collection of powerful stories from both the forest and the savannah. The story of Ghana, and indeed of Africa's relationship with Europe, was irrevocably altered by the silhouette of sails appearing on the horizon. In 1471, Portuguese explorers made landfall. Driven by a quest for gold, spices, and a sea route to Asia, they were the first of a new kind of visitor. They did not arrive in an empty land. They encountered well-established Akan states whose chiefs, astute traders in their own right, saw an opportunity, willing to trade, but on their own terms. The Portuguese sought to dominate this trade. In 1482, they built a permanent, fortified trading post, Elmina Castle. It was the first European building south of the Sahara. Its construction marked a pivotal shift, a stone and mortar declaration of intent to stay, and a precedent that rival European powers would soon follow. The Dutch, English, Danes, Swedes, they all came, fighting fiercely for a piece of the lucrative gold trade. The coastline became a crowded and contested commercial battleground, with over 40 castles and forts, the highest concentration of such architecture outside of Europe. While the initial focus was on gold, the insatiable demand for labor on the new sugar and tobacco plantations of the Americas created a monstrous new market. The transatlantic slave trade, a system of unimaginable cruelty and industrial scale, transformed the Gold Coast from a center of gold trade into one of the darkest hubs of this global tragedy. Africans, often captured as prisoners in conflicts exacerbated by the European demand for slaves, were marched for weeks or months from the interior, their journey ending at the stone walls of the coastal castles. Here, they were inspected like livestock, branded, and herded into dungeons. For weeks or months, thousands of men, women, and children languished in these holding pens, waiting for the ships to arrive. The final stage was the passage through the door of no return. For millions, this was the final view of their homeland, the point of final separation from their land, their language, their family, their entire world. These walls are not silent. They carry memory. They remind the world of pain, survival, loss, and the unbreakable dignity of those whose stories must never be forgotten. By the 19th century, Britain outlawed the slave trade. This shift from perpetrator to policeman gave Britain a new pretext for increasing its political presence, under the guise of humanitarian intervention and the promotion of legitimate commerce. The new focus was on raw materials for the Industrial Revolution. Palm oil, timber, and especially cocoa, which exploded into a massive industry driven by Ghanaian farmers, became the new economic engine. To facilitate this, the British built infrastructure, but the railways and roads were designed to serve colonial interests, creating a classic drainpipe economy that siphoned the wealth of the Gold Coast away to Britain. The British governed through a system of indirect rule, using traditional chiefs as local administrators. This fundamentally altered the nature of chieftaincy. Chiefs who were once accountable to their people now found their primary loyalty shifted to the colonial government, often creating tension and resentment. Alongside this, Christian missionaries established schools, introducing Western education. While this created a new, small educated elite, it often came at the cost of denigrating African culture, language, and history. The same colonial system that sought to control the Gold Coast inadvertently planted the seeds of its own destruction. A new generation, exposed to ideas of democracy and self-determination, began to question the hypocrisy of colonial rule. After World War II, thousands of soldiers returned with new skills, a broader worldview, and a refusal to accept the indignities of colonialism any longer. This simmering tension erupted on February 28, 1948, when colonial police fired on a peaceful protest of unarmed veterans. The killings ignited riots across the country. The colonial government blamed the unrest on nationalist leaders, arresting 6 of them, including a charismatic, recently returned intellectual named Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah was different. He broke away to form the Convention People's Party, CPP, a mass movement with a simple, radical message that resonated with ordinary people: freedom now. After years of strikes, boycotts, and political organizing, the moment arrived. Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. When Ghana became independent, it was not only a national victory. It became a signal across Africa that freedom was possible. Ghana's first prime minister, Kwame Nkrumah, was more than a nationalist leader. He was a Pan-African visionary. He saw Ghana's freedom as the first step towards a greater goal. He dreamed of a United States of Africa and declared that Ghana's independence was meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. Accra became a hub for anti-colonial movements. Nkrumah offered support, training, and inspiration to freedom fighters from across the continent, making Ghana a beacon of hope for liberation. At home, Nkrumah embarked on an ambitious program of modernization and industrialization, aiming to rapidly transform Ghana's economy and society and break its dependence on former colonial powers. He commissioned monumental projects like Black Star Square, symbols of Ghana's new status and its role as a leader in the non-aligned movement during the Cold War. Nkrumah's legacy is complex and debated. He is revered as the father of the nation and a Pan-African hero, but his later years in power were marked by a turn towards authoritarianism, leading to his overthrow in 1966. Yet, his vision continues to inspire. The decades following Nkrumah's overthrow were a turbulent period in Ghana's history, marked by a series of military coups and counter-coups. The nation struggled to find stable political footing, swinging between military governments and short-lived democratic experiments, all while facing significant economic challenges. The rise of Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings in the late 1970s and 80s marked another dramatic chapter, a period of populist revolution followed by tough economic reforms. This long period of instability eventually paved the way for a lasting change. In 1992, a new constitution was adopted, ushering in a return to multi-party democratic rule. Since then, Ghana has built a reputation as one of West Africa's most stable and successful democracies, holding numerous peaceful elections and transfers of power. This hard-won political stability has provided the foundation for the social and economic development that defines modern Ghana, a testament to the resilience and democratic spirit of its people. Modern Ghana is a democratic republic with a government structured around the principle of separation of powers. The president serves as both head of state and head of government. Legislative power is vested in a unicameral parliament, whose members are elected from constituencies across the country's 16 administrative regions. An independent judiciary, headed by the Supreme Court, is responsible for interpreting the law and upholding the Constitution, ensuring a system of checks and balances. The nation's identity is powerfully encapsulated in its national symbols, most notably its flag. The red commemorates those who died in the struggle for independence. The gold represents the nation's mineral wealth, and the green symbolizes its rich forests and agriculture. And at its heart, the lone black star. It is a symbol of African freedom and hope, a beacon for the liberation of the entire continent. This symbol is proudly displayed at Independence Square, the site of national celebrations, a constant reminder of Ghana's pioneering role and its enduring commitment to the ideals of freedom and justice. If Accra is the political and economic brain of Ghana, then Kumasi is its cultural and spiritual soul. Located deep in the heart of the forest zone, Kumasi is the historic capital of the Ashanti Kingdom and remains the vibrant center of Ashanti identity. The city's energy is palpable, a constant hum of activity that flows through its congested streets, powered by the ambitions and dreams of millions. Accra is where Ghana's past, present, and future collide. It's a city of diverse neighborhoods, from the historic fishing community of Jamestown to the lively bars and restaurants of Osu. It is a true gateway to West Africa. Accra is cementing its reputation as a major hub for creativity and technology. A burgeoning tech scene is driving advancements in fintech, e-commerce, and digital services. It is a center for fashion and music, with designers and artists gaining international acclaim and contributing to the global Afrobeats phenomenon. Annual events transform the city into a living canvas of artistic expression, showcasing a forward-looking, fast-changing city that is helping to define what it means to be modern and African. If Accra is the political and economic brain of Ghana, then Kumasi is its cultural and spiritual soul. Located deep in the heart of the forest zone, Kumasi is the historic capital of the Ashanti Kingdom and remains the vibrant center of Ashanti identity. The city exudes a palpable sense of history. The authority of the Asantehene still holds immense sway, and the traditions of the royal court, centered at Manhaya Palace, continue to shape cultural life. Every 42 days, the palace grounds come alive for the Akwasidai festival, a breathtaking spectacle of culture, featuring drumming, dancing, and a dazzling display of golden regalia. At its commercial heart is the Kajitia Market, one of the largest open-air markets in West Africa, a labyrinth of commerce and an economic powerhouse for the entire region. Surrounding Kumasi are villages specializing in traditional arts. Here, ancient skills are passed down through generations, making the region a living museum of Ashanti craftsmanship. While deeply traditional, Kumasi is not frozen in time. It is a bustling modern city, home to major universities and businesses, blending its ancient soul with a dynamic future. Beyond Accra and Kumasi, Ghana is a mosaic of diverse cities and regions, each contributing its own unique character to the national story. In the north, Tamale serves as a vibrant commercial hub for the savannah. Along the coast, Cape Coast is steeped in history, while the twin city of Sekondi Takoradi is the heart of Ghana's oil and gas industry. Tema is the nation's industrial engine. Ho is the gateway to the scenic Volta region. Sunyani is known for its green landscapes, and Bolgatanga in the Upper East is famous for its distinctive handicrafts. From the western border to the eastern highlands, each region adds another layer to the rich, complex identity of modern Ghana. Ghana's greatest strength lies not in uniformity, but in its rich diversity. The nation is a vibrant mosaic of more than 70 distinct ethnic groups, each with its own language, history, and customs. The largest group is the Akan, dominant in the south. The Moldagbani peoples shape the culture of the northern savannah. The Ewe are prominent in the southeast, and the Gadangme are the indigenous people of the capital region. While these groups have their own traditions, centuries of migration, trade, and intermarriage have created a shared national identity, where ethnic pride coexists with a strong sense of being Ghanaian. This diversity is reflected in the nation's soundscape. While English is the official language, it is just one of over 80 languages and dialects spoken across the country. Akan languages like Twi and Fante are widely spoken in the south, while languages like Uwe, Ga, and Dagbani serve as important lingua francas in their respective regions. This multilingualism fosters a sense of national unity, bridging ethnic divides and creating a society where different voices can come together to speak as one nation. Ghana is a deeply spiritual country, characterized by a remarkable degree of religious tolerance and diversity. The skyline of any city or town reveals a rich tapestry of faith. Christianity is the most widely practiced religion, with a strong presence of both historic denominations and a dynamic and growing Pentecostal and charismatic movement. Islam has a long and deep history in Ghana, particularly in the northern regions, and Muslim communities are an integral part of the national fabric. Alongside Christianity and Islam, traditional African religions continue to play a vital role. These belief systems are centered on a supreme creator, lesser deities, and a deep reverence for ancestors. For many Ghanaians, these faiths are not mutually exclusive. It is common for people to blend elements of Christianity or Islam with traditional beliefs and practices, creating a unique and personal spiritual identity. This spirit of tolerance and coexistence is a cornerstone of Ghanaian society, a powerful example of how diverse faiths can live together in peace and mutual respect. Ghanaian culture is a visual and symbolic feast, a language spoken not just in words, but in cloth, color, and ceremony. Nothing expresses this more than the nation's world-renowned textiles. Kente and Adinkra cloths are not just beautiful fabrics. They are visual representations of history, philosophy, and proverbial wisdom, a form of non-verbal communication woven into the fabric of life. Festivals are the lifeblood of the community. They are moments when history is relived, ancestors are honored, and the community is spiritually cleansed and reunited through drumming, dancing, and shared celebration. Daily life is structured around a deep respect for family and community, marked by important rites of passage like naming ceremonies, weddings, and funerals, which bring entire communities together. From the sacredness of a royal court to the everyday hustle of a local market, Ghanaian culture is a living, breathing force, a powerful and unifying source of national pride. Ghana's heartbeat is its music. From the intricate talking drum languages of traditional music, the nation has pioneered some of Africa's most influential modern genres. In the mid-20th century, highlife became the soundtrack of the independence era, a fusion of Akan melodies and Western jazz that spread across the continent. More recently, Ghanaian artists and producers were instrumental in the development of hiplife and the global Afrobeats phenomenon, blending local rhythms with hip-hop and dancehall. This musical creativity is always accompanied by dance, from the formal traditional dances to the expressive street styles that have taken the world by storm. This creative spirit extends to all art forms. Ghana has a rich literary tradition of celebrated poets and novelists and a vibrant visual art scene. And its film industry, affectionately known as Gallywood, continues to tell Ghanaian stories for a Ghanaian audience, making the nation a true powerhouse of African creativity. To truly know, Ghana is to taste it. The nation's cuisine is hearty, flavorful, and deeply connected to its culture of hospitality and community. Meals are built around starchy staples like fufu, banku, and kenki, which serve as the perfect vehicle for the true stars of the cuisine, intensely flavored soups and stews. And of course, no discussion of Ghanaian food is complete without mentioning jollof rice. This one-pot dish is a source of immense national pride and the subject of a famous friendly rivalry with Nigeria. From the bustling chop bars serving quick local lunches to the sizzling street food stalls that come alive at night, Ghanaian cuisine is accessible, bold, and delicious. But more than anything, food in Ghana is about community. Meals are meant to be shared, and offering food to a visitor is the ultimate sign of respect and welcome. It is an act of love. For over a century, Ghana's economy has been powered by its natural wealth, most famously, cocoa. The Gold Coast became the world's leading producer, a title it has often held since. Driven by the hard work of millions of smallholder farmers, the cocoa bean remains a cornerstone of the rural economy and the nation's most valuable agricultural export, and the legacy of gold continues. Ghana remains one of Africa's top gold producers, and the mineral is still a vital source of export revenue, though the sector faces challenges from illegal mining. Beyond cocoa and gold, agriculture is the backbone of the economy, employing a large portion of the population. From fishing on the coast and Lake Volta to the cultivation of yams, maize, cashews, and shea nuts, the land provides the livelihood for millions of Ghanaians. In recent decades, Ghana has worked to diversify its economy beyond the traditional pillars of gold and cocoa. Today, the services sector is the largest contributor to the nation's GDP. Banking, telecommunications, insurance, and construction have all become major drivers of growth, transforming the urban landscape and creating new opportunities. Trade remains vital. Ghana's ports at Tema and Takoradi are not just crucial for the nation, but serve as important gateways for landlocked neighbors like Burkina Faso. The discovery of significant offshore oil and gas reserves in the 2000s added another major pillar to the economy, bringing in new revenue, but also new challenges of management and transparency. From the bustling informal economy of the markets to the high-tech formal sector, Ghana's economy is a complex and evolving mix of tradition and modernity. Ghana has long placed a high value on education, viewing it as the key to national development. The country is home to several prestigious universities. Institutions like the University of Ghana, KNUST, and the University of Cape Coast are centers of research and learning, producing the next generation of leaders, innovators, and professionals. This educated, youthful population is driving a digital revolution. Ghana has emerged as one of Africa's most exciting hubs for technology and innovation. Startups are creating homegrown solutions, particularly in fintech, where mobile money has transformed the way people transact, save, and access financial services. From healthcare to agriculture, technology is being harnessed to solve local problems, creating a vibrant ecosystem of entrepreneurship that holds immense promise for Ghana's future. A nation's development is tied to its ability to move people and goods. Ghana has invested heavily in upgrading its transportation infrastructure, creating the arteries that connect the country. Kotoka International Airport serves as a major regional aviation hub, connecting Ghana to the rest of Africa and the world. And its deepwater ports at Tema and Takoradi are crucial for trade, serving not only Ghana, but also its landlocked neighbors. For daily travel, millions of Ghanaians rely on a vast network of private minibuses known as tro-tros, the vibrant and chaotic backbone of public transport. While challenges remain, particularly in rural areas, the ongoing development of roads, bridges, and railways is key to unlocking economic potential and uniting the nation. For travelers seeking a journey of depth and discovery, Ghana offers an unforgettable experience. Its historical sites are among the most powerful in the world. From the cultural heartland of the Ashanti Kingdom to the unique stilt village of Nzulezu and the ancient mosques of the north, Ghana's cultural heritage is rich and accessible. The country's natural beauty is just as compelling. Kakum National Park offers the exhilarating experience of a canopy walk through the treetops of a tropical rainforest. In the north, Mole National Park is Ghana's largest wildlife refuge, home to elephants, antelopes, and hundreds of bird species. From the spectacular Wli and Boti waterfalls to the idyllic beaches of Busua and Adafoa, Ghana's landscapes offer endless opportunities for adventure and relaxation. Ghana's commitment to conservation has preserved vital habitats for a diverse range of wildlife. The crown jewel of its park system is Mole National Park in the northern savannah. Here, visitors can embark on walking or driving safaris to see some of West Africa's most iconic species, including large populations of elephants, antelopes, warthogs, and primates. In the south, the rainforests of Kakum National Park protect a different ecosystem, home to forest elephants, bongo antelopes, and a stunning variety of monkeys and bird life. Conservation efforts are crucial. Ecotourism provides a sustainable way to fund the protection of these precious habitats, from the inland forests to the coastal wetlands that are vital for migratory birds and nesting sea turtles. Ghana's profound impact on world history and culture is recognized by UNESCO, which has designated 2 remarkable World Heritage Sites within its borders. The first site is the collection of forts and castles along the coast. These powerful structures are a testament to the centuries of trade and competition between European powers and, most significantly, stand as a solemn memorial to the transatlantic slave trade. The second site is the Asante traditional buildings. These are the last remaining examples of the unique and sophisticated architecture of the great Ashanti Empire, offering a precious glimpse into the material culture of that powerful civilization. These sites are not just Ghanaian treasures, they are part of the collective heritage of humanity, places of learning, remembrance, and reflection for the entire world. If there is one passion that unites all Ghanaians, it is football. The sport is followed with incredible fervor, from neighborhood kickabouts to the highest levels of international competition. The men's national team, the Black Stars, carries the hopes of the nation, and their successes have brought immense pride and unforgettable moments of collective joy. Beyond football, Ghana has a proud history in boxing, producing numerous world champions, and has also excelled in athletics on the continental and world stage. Ghana has produced countless individuals who have excelled on the world stage, becoming global ambassadors for the nation's talent and intellect. From politics and diplomacy to sports, fashion, literature, and science, Ghanaians have made their mark. Ghana is a country full of surprising and fascinating facts. It was the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Its former colonial name was the Gold Coast, due to its vast gold reserves. The Black Star on its flag is a major symbol of African freedom, inspired by the Black Star Line shipping company of Marcus Garvey. Lake Volta is one of the world's largest artificial lakes by surface area. Ghana is famous for its intricate kente cloth, where every pattern has a specific meaning. Kakum National Park features a famous canopy walkway suspended over 30 meters above the forest floor. The castles of Cape Coast and Elmina are major sites of pilgrimage for the African diaspora, and of course it is home to the world's best jollof rice, though some may disagree. To truly understand modern Ghana is to acknowledge the complex challenges that lie on its path forward. One of the most significant is youth unemployment, as the job market struggles to keep pace with a growing, educated population. This is compounded by macroeconomic headwinds. Periods of high inflation have eroded purchasing power, while national debt places constraints on government spending for essential services like education and healthcare. Rapid urbanization, while a sign of economic activity, has strained infrastructure, leading to traffic congestion, housing shortages, and challenges in providing reliable services to all residents. Ghana also faces profound environmental challenges. The most visible is the scourge of illegal small-scale mining, known as galamsey, which has poisoned major rivers and destroyed vast tracts of farmland. Along the coast, rising sea levels are driving coastal erosion, threatening communities, livelihoods, and even the historic forts themselves. These challenges are not abstract, they are the daily reality for many Ghanaians. Yet, in the face of these difficulties, the nation's story is not one of despair, but of a continuous, determined struggle to innovate and build a better future. For every challenge Ghana faces, there is a corresponding opportunity. The nation's greatest asset is its people, and a wave of youth entrepreneurship, especially in technology, is creating homegrown solutions and new jobs. The creative industries and tourism hold immense potential. By investing in its music, fashion, film, and unique heritage and ecotourism sites, Ghana can transform its cultural influence into a powerful economic engine. In agriculture, a major opportunity lies in value addition. processing more raw materials like cocoa and shea nuts domestically, creating manufacturing jobs, and retaining more profit within the country. The nation's abundant sunshine presents a clear path towards renewable energy, building a greener and more sustainable power grid for the future. Strategically positioned and respected for its stability, Ghana is poised to capitalize on its role as a logistical hub and a leader within the African Continental Free Trade Area, charting a path to a more prosperous future. Ghana's significance extends far beyond its borders. Its independence in 1957 was a seismic moment, a clarion call that echoed across Africa, signaling the beginning of the end for European colonial empires. As the vanguard of a continental liberation movement, Ghana became a powerful symbol of Black achievement, sovereignty, and the dream of Pan-African unity, a legacy that continues to inform its diplomacy today. In recent decades, Ghana has taken on a new symbolic role, a place of return and reconnection for the global African diaspora. Initiatives like the Year of Return have transformed sites of pain into gateways for healing, inviting the descendants of those who were stolen to come home, to reconnect, and to build new bridges. This role as a bridge between Africa and its diaspora is perhaps Ghana's most unique and important gift to the world, offering a space to confront difficult history and forge a new, shared future out of a fractured past. Ghana is more than a place on the map. It is memory. It is gold. It is freedom. It is music, food, festivals, language, faith, and resilience. From the Ashanti Empire to the castles of the coast, from independence to modern Accra, Ghana carries a story that reaches far beyond its borders. It is a nation of heritage, a nation of courage, a nation of creativity, a nation still shaping Africa's future. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through Ghana. If this documentary helped you discover something new, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to The Daily Life, and share it with someone who loves history, geography, wildlife, culture, or travel. Your support helps us continue this ambitious journey across all 54 nations of Africa, preserving stories that deserve to be known around the world. Next time, we travel north to a land of deserts, mountains, ancient cities, colorful markets, and breathtaking architecture. Morocco,